Good morning. Today I want to discuss the second verse from the book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 2. It would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea than for him to cause one of these little ones to stumble. There are many other verses about children in the Bible. However, I think that these two verses that we have discussed stand out to me the most. Although God tells us in a very harsh tone how to treat children, if we repent, He will gladly forgive us. But it has to come from the heart. For God is a loving and forgiving God. And when you repent from your heart, He will forgive you. I want to go on to another poem called Poem from a Foster Child. Poem from a Foster Child. Mother's dead now, father remains unknown. I only knew foster parents, yet with them I felt at home. Then we were separated by time and too many miles. When we were finally reunited, I was no longer a child. The years had gone by, causing us both to change and leaving me questioning why our lives were so poorly arranged. Many times we think that our life is a mess. That is, it is so poorly arranged. But God knows everything about you. He knows how many hairs are on your head because He created you. He knows what you're going to go through. But He never wastes our suffering, because our suffering will be our testimony, and our testimony will be used to help other people in the same situation, in the same suffering that we're going through. I was raised in 3 foster homes, and in my 3rd foster home, I attended a Catholic school in Brooklyn, and I became close friends with a classmate named Kim. And when we graduated from 8th grade, we exchanged addresses, but I never expected to hear from her or to see her ever again. After graduating from 8th grade, several years later, when I was living in Puerto Rico, I received a letter from Kim. And in the letter, she asked me to visit her. So I did. And I visited her several times. On the first letter that I received, the address was completely wrong. And so there was a sign from God that this was going to happen, that this was no coincidence. So after several trips to Florida, I met my husband, and we have been married now for 30 years. So when you think that your life is poorly arranged, when you don't understand why you're going through all this suffering, there is a reason. God has a plan for your life. And God does not waste suffering. He will never waste our suffering. It will be used to help others, and we will overcome. God bless you, friend.